We're just about ready to start framing out this 3-tier decorator's deck, but we have a complicated beam and joist layout. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Beams at different heights, lay it all out so that when you go to put on your decking and trim, everything works out seamlessly. In the last video, we showed you how to do a ledger, but on this one, we're gonna teach you how to frame a multi-tiered deck.
Oh, hey Sean, what are you doing there?
Whoa, hey buddy. Normally, when you're setting beams like this, you'd use carriage bolts to go all the way through this notched post, but we have these Fasten Master through locks, no pre-drilling. You just set it in there like this. Wait for it to poke out. There she is. Put this cap on. Nice and tight, super easy. That took what, like 5 seconds? Since we have 3 different height beams here, they're all at different levels. We set these, then off of that, we set this beam for our last beam. This is at yet another height. We'll just set a string line off of here, put it on the corner here, and now he's checking it with a framing square, and boom, right there, we have our location. We can hit this in, and then we can start framing this lowest portion of this 3-tiered deck. As you can see, once we get the beams up, these joists just fly, they go right up. We pre-marked everything so that they can just go right up here. We have our joist hangers going in. We're gonna nail these in, and then we got hurricane clips going on everything. So that's the key. Mark everything out before it goes in. So once you get your beams up, joists, they go up in like 2 seconds. Now you can start to see how we're achieving these 3 different levels. Up here, we have 2 different ledger boards, one here, one there. That's our first step. Our second step, smart little idea here, we have these joists on top of the beam. These joists are gonna be flush with the beam. So that creates our next step down.
Easy.
Oh, hey Pat.
Oh, hey Sean, what's going on?
Not much. What's that nifty little tool you got there?
This is a palm nailer.
Cool, what's it do?
Gives you the power of a hammer in your palm. You would have the power of a hammer in your palm if you were holding a hammer as well. But this one is pneumatically operated. It uses air compression and presses a cylinder against the back of the nail head, injecting it into the wooden medium.
Save you a lot of time?
I don't really know.
We got all these joists in, so what we do is we measure out from the house. We always run these long. Make a little mark, snap a little line, and then you can see we have transferred that line down the side of the joist. We'll cut all these off, then we can put on our rim joist, which we will pre-mark to make sure everything stays nice and straight, and that's how you do it. Welcome back for day 2 of our framing here. At the end of the day yesterday, we got a lot of our blocking in. Come closer, come closer. We got a lot of this blocking in, and today we're gonna start installing these flat pieces of blocking, which is going to accommodate our double border that we're gonna do here. On this deck here, we have, again, 3-tiered deck.
3 tiers.
Top deck is gonna be running like that. This one's gonna be running like that, and this one's gonna be like that. So on this one, we're gonna have to install a lot of blocking, change the direction of the decking. Now we could have ran the joist the other way if we framed it out a little bit different, but I thought that would be kind of more confusing. It's not that big of an area. We can just add a bunch of blocking so we can run the deck boards this way. I think it's gonna break it up nicely. I think it's gonna be a nice accent here. So stay tuned to see all this blocking going in. We're now working on attaching our nailers for our trim detail. What you can see happening here is we cut 2 2x4s and we stagger them so one gets tucked behind, one stays on top. We put a ledger lock through here to hold it nice and tight, and then we put a bunch of nails. And because these are so tall, they're gonna be a little bit flexible here. So what we do, we put this nailer across the back, stabilize it, and then we put this brace back into our beam or our post or whatever's there, and that keeps it nice and straight and level. On a smaller, shorter deck, you don't need that. It's gonna stay nice and plumb just how it is, but when it's this big, you need that brace on the back and you need to lag it into something else to keep it nice and straight. I get a lot of questions about how we do the blocking for our picture frame. This is probably the easiest way to do it. You have your 2 end joists. These are about 9 inches on center or something like that. And then what we do is we put this flat piece of 2x8 in here. So this is gonna accommodate our border piece, and then our field boards can run in here. We have a solid screwing surface, a solid surface to screw into. That's pretty much it. But when you have the flat blocking like that, you want to put flashing tape all over it to make sure water doesn't sit there and just hang out.
But anyway, that's kind of how you do it, and then you put the flashing tape on top, and then it's all good to go, and then that's pretty much it, and then I'll show you how to do that a little bit later.
Look off into the distance. See a backwards-headed mammal applying a black coating of stain to this pressure-treated wood to hopefully attract a mate.
One of the last things that we did here was these stairs, and what we did was sink our posts into concrete, and then we notched it out. So this front piece is sitting on top of this. It's gonna keep it really nice and strong. Any flat blocking anywhere is all tape, so no rot, no worries, no problem. So that's pretty much it. How you're gonna frame a multi-tiered deck like this. There's a little bit of some complications with it, but take your time, make sure you do your math correctly and you'll be good. We just passed our framing inspection, so tomorrow we can start on that decking. Decorators, baby, it's gonna be beautiful. Let's go.